Hello and welcome to my proof video to Matt Parker's mind-boggling card trick that he posted yesterday, the 2nd of February 2016. I am going to prove it, or prove how it works, and show you that it does work every single time. I've literally just finished doing it right now, and I just wanted to get this done. I've tried to do it quite a few times, and hopefully I don't screw up this time. So, basically, the way that Matt started off this trick is that he had a total of 52 playing cards. They started off with just ordinary playing cards, and he had a top row, and he had a bottom row, which we'll label in here. Now, whenever he would have the shuffled deck face down to start off with, and he would look at the first card. If the card was red, he would put that face up, we would call that RU, in its own pile. Then he would put the next card face down on the bottom. We'll call this RD. So he doesn't know whether this is red or black. He does exactly the same for black. So if he turned over the face down card that he got from the shuffled deck, and it happened to be black, he put that in his own little corner, black up, and he'll put the next card face down without looking at it, face down here. So now we can see that the number of cards that are in red up and the number of cards in red down are the same. So we can say that RU is equal to RD. We can also say the same for black up and black down. So you have a link here. We can also see that Matt has also split the cards down the middle between the top and the bottom, so that on the top you have 26 cards, and on the bottom you have 26 cards, making 52 cards, a full deck of cards. If you're not including jokers or those bridge card things, I don't know why they jam them in there. Unless you want to play bridge, but I don't know who plays bridge. So, normally, when you get a pack of cards, the total number of reds is 26, and the total number of blacks is 26. If you don't, then you probably don't have a standard deck of cards, and I recommend you go buy some new cards. So now we want to find how many black cards and how many red cards are in the bottom. So to find the black cards that are in the bottom, we're going to just say, okay, so the total number, so we know that the total number of red cards is 26, so the total number of cards up here, minus RU, which is what we know are red cards on the top. We can also say that it is 26 minus the number of black cards that we have at the bottom, because remember this 26 figure here? This 26 is this 26, and that's going to be minusing the number of black cards that are in the bottom here. So then we can substitute these together to get 26 minus B equal to 26 minus RU. You just minus the 26's on both sides, add black, add RU, and you end up with B is equal to RU. So the number of black cards that we have at the bottom is equal to the same number of red cards that are faced up. And this works exactly the same way to find the number of red cards that we have in the bottom. So we could just say B is equal to 26, so this 26, the total number of black cards that we have in the deck, minus the number of black cards facing up in our top. And we can also say that B the number of cards in the bottom is equal to the total number of cards in the bottom, 26, minus the number of red cards that we have in the bottom, even without knowing how many cards there are. It's a fact. So then we could just substitute that in, saying 26 minus R is equal to 26 minus BU. So then we can just do the same cancellation that we did here and rearrange everything so it looks all pretty and just say R is equal to the number of cards at the top here. So now that we've established that, we want to say how many cards of each type are in each of these decks. So we could say that RD is equal to R1 plus B1. So just a number of red cards plus a number of black cards. And we can say the same for BD as well. So BD is equal to R2 plus B2. But we have to know what, like how many red cards can we have and how many black cards can we have for this bottom row. Well, we know that you can't have more red cards in both piles than the number of red cards that we have down here. So that R is equal to R1 plus R2. Same with black, which is equal to B1 plus B2. So now we're going to be focusing mainly on this bottom deck for black, and we're going to try to prove that the number of black cards in this black face down pile is equal to the number of reds in the top one. So we're going to try and prove that B2 is equal to R1. So to start off with, we're going to be wanting to rearrange our formula so that B2 is the subject. So B2 is equal to BD minus R2. So this looks quite nice, but we can't really do much at the moment. Oh, well, we can do something. What we can do is that we can replace or substitute R2 from here. So basically, if we minus the R1, we can put in R2. We can substitute in that to here, so that BD is equal. So B2 is equal to BD minus, then in brackets, R minus R1. And yeah. So now that we have this, we can use this relationship and this relationship, and this relationship to convert the number of red cards into the number of cards that we have down here. So that because R is equal to the number of cards that are faced up in the black pile, and that is equal to the number of cards that was in the black pile face down, we can substitute in BD as in BD minus R1 is equal to B2. We could just expand this bracket so that BD minus BD plus R1, and you can actually see that these two cancel each other out, so that B2 is equal to R1. And that there is proof that the number of black cards you have in your black pile is equal to the number of red cards in your red pile. I hope this made sense, because I know that me talking and saying black cards, red cards, face down, face up, got a bit confusing, and I hope people who watch this follow it along. If you have any other comments or any other ways that you've done it, put them in the comments below, as well as give that to Matt Parker somehow. I'm gonna tweet this video at him, and hopefully he sees it, because this was quite fun, and that sense of achievement that you get when you finally finish it is actually quite nice. So, yep, this is really good, and yeah, I'll see you later.